Greetings from Egypt. Now it's not cold like Germany, so we little bit refresh in this good weather, and this is good for us also in terms of sustainability and sustainable development. My paper or my presentation today will be little bit focused on community-based learning as an approach that we are addressing at Heliopolis University for Sustainable Development to promote sustainability and sustainable development and let our students engage with the community in order to provide support and solutions to these communities. And I'd like to start all my presentations related to sustainability by this quote, which is our challenge in this new century is to take the idea that seems abstract, sustainable development, and turn it into reality for all the world's people. This is really exactly the challenge that we are facing in schools, in universities, in ministries, in governments, to take the idea into practices on the ground. And this is really needs a lot of innovation and a lot of creativity to do that. One of the things that we try to do at Heliopolis is community-based learning. But before we go into the depth of this concept, I would like first to share with you, I will skip this for a while, the institution that founded Heliopolis University, because Heliopolis University was founded in 2012, but the institution that founded the university, it's called SECM, and this was founded in 1977. And from day one, even before the concept of sustainability and sustainable development being recognized in the literature and the UN conferences and so on, the founder was approaching this holistic approach of development where economy, culture, society, and ecology are working in a harmony. And he started his initiative in the middle of the Egyptian desert. For you who visited Egypt, realize that Egypt, it's completely desert, only the Nile Valley and the Delta. And the majority of the land, like 95%, is desert. And he decided to establish a model for sustainability and sustainable development in the middle of the desert to convince people that this could be done. And of course, any idea should have goals and actions to be taken part by part and on the ground. So I'm presenting now the vision that the institution is recognizing and taking into consideration while doing all the activities. And as you can see, these are the 4 pillars of sustainability, and each pillar has a goal. And today I will focus on the lifelong learning and potential unfolding as main goal for education and quality education. And this is done through Heliopolis University SECM School, where I was teaching previously as a class teacher. The word SECM means vitality from the sun, which means infinite source of energy. And this is typically the vision of the place, that we have this infinite source of inspiration and energy and work day by day. And for sure, the main component of this is the human being. So we focus on unfolding the individual potentials so they can be the ambassadors of sustainability and sustainable development. And this is our role at Heliopolis University. Move to the next slide. So the university was established in 2012, and this is the vision of the university to be a pioneer scientific institution, strives for sustainable development for individual consciousness, economic solidarity, social justice, and environmental balance in Egypt and the world. And of course, the vision and the mission was break down to actions and action plans. We will not go through it now, but community-based learning is one of them. This is the 5 faculties we have in the university. We have business faculty, we have organic agriculture faculty, engineering faculty, pharmacy, and physical therapy. And the pillars of education at Heliopolis University comes through learning and education. This is education for sustainable development, and we will see how it works. Then research and graduation projects should be focused on sustainability in all the 5 faculties, and we will see some of this. Practice and internship mainly in Sikkim community and Sikkim industry and Sikkim farms. Core program, and this is one of the most attractive parts in the university, where all the students from all faculties should go through arts, language, and ecological courses. This helped them to get the knowledge and the competences as a foundation of frame of reference transformation and being ambassador for sustainable development. Then comes the part of today is the community engagement and community-based learning, CBL. And this approach we addressing at Heliopolis University 8 years ago, where all the students of the university should do something for the community through their curricula and courses. Not a community service, but community-based learning. Of course, some of you know this quote, which is really important to have it in our mind, that the more the education is developing, it's still people are not taking care of the environment, not taking care of the ecology, not taking care of the economy. And the previous presentation showed how the SDGs not progressing because it's still away from the reality that we can take things into the depth, as it mentioned here in this book. So we need a quite different education where students are interested in going to the depth of the things and going to the reality problems and find solutions for that. And this we practiced in the community-based learning. This is our approach of ESD at Heliopolis University for Sustainable Development, where all the faculties and the departments, even languages and arts, are addressing sustainability and education for sustainable development. And they receive training and capacity development on how to embed sustainability and sustainable development into their courses, into their activities, and even research projects and graduation projects. I can give an example for the economics and business and economics, where students there are very much into green marketing projects, true cost accounting, and eco-friendly business models, and so on. They have to be into this direction. Of course, not obligatory, but they get inspired from other projects that are running, so they can learn from that. So this is interdisciplinary approach where people from all faculties are working together on a project that is addressing sustainability. I can give an example for a solar pumping project we established in the rural areas, where Faculty of Engineering and Faculty of Business and Faculty of Agriculture are working together to support farmers in rural, poor villages to establish solar pumps to generate electricity for the pumps, as the electricity prices in Egypt is extremely high now. So this is some kind of interdisciplinary models of projects running with the university. Before we go to the reality and to the actual problems on the ground, we always try to take our students to see the whole picture before go to the reality. And you know this Indian story about the six blind men who try to discover the elephant, but nobody of them, no one of them could recognize that this is an elephant. But if you see all the parts they are holding by their hand, so you can realize that this is an elephant. So we need our students to see the whole picture, to see the effect of the economy on the ecology, on the culture, and on the societal part. And this is really difficult and needs a lot of hands-on experience, a lot of engagement, and a lot of creativity to let them believe that the Nile water is not sufficient for the Egyptian right now. And all the Egyptian consider the Nile is a main source of water, which is not finished at all. But the reality is not like that. So we need to let them see that the water scarcity is a clear problem in Egypt. The energy and the prices of the energy as a real problem, and so on. So seeing the whole picture is the starting point of moving to the community. Otherwise, they will get lost there because the situation in rural areas where we focus is really difficult. This is the approach of shifting from education to ESD, and this is well known. But our focus here is to encourage value clarifications. And this is an example I mentioned about the guy who has two different slots of tomato, one for the family where there is no pesticides, and the other for the market with all kind of pesticides and chemicals and so on. And we had a lot of discussion with the students on that, why he's doing that, why the market-driven mechanism is dominating, why people are not using the organic agriculture techniques to protect the soil and to protect the microorganism on the soil and so on. So it's a lot of questions. And this is good when a student in year one start his career in physical therapy, which is totally away from agriculture by some kind of reflective processes and seeing the entire process, because this could influence the, it's not could, it must influence the health of the people who are going to take medication later on. At Heliopolis University, we have three main focused through ESD. One of them, the first one is the international project, and we are very active in that. We have a lot of ESD international projects that was implemented in the university. Then we have the community development centers, and I will give a hint on that. Then the research with International Journal of Holistic Research. These are a list of projects that was focused on education for sustainable development, and I was engaging in most of them, starting from 2010 until 2023. So we have a legacy of ESD on the ground, and we established a lot of programs and a lot of centers that is focusing on education for sustainable development. And I'm still in love with the first project where we promoted education for sustainable development into the Egyptian school curricula. And now I can see the box of my kids in the school with activities related to sustainability was developed by our team in this project. The university, to establish community engagement, they established 4 centers where each center has focused on SDGs. The Center of Education for Sustainable Development is focused on SDGs for quality education. Rural Development Center, where I am the director of this center and engaging with many projects in the rural areas, where you focus on SDG 1, 2, and 7, and 9. Then the Carbon Footprint Center, where we do calculations for the carbon footprint for the companies, for the individuals, and for the institutions. And finally, the Integrative Health Center, where all of them are working in a harmony to achieve the path to community-based learning. Community-based learning is defined as an educational approach that combines academic study with a direct involvement in community, service projects, and initiatives. So academia and community are in direct involvement. It's also characterized by a form of experiential learning where students and faculty and staff work collaboratively with the community members to find solutions to real problems and real world challenges. This is the community-based learning in process. Our goal from community-based learning, first of all, we need to achieve societal change and societal transformation through individual change, because we believe that the change and the transformation comes from the individuals, not from the group as a whole. Also, self-development and self-confidence for our students, and this is the starting point for the spiritual part of sustainability. Also, we need to have a practical applications of the academic learning within the university. We need to take this knowledge and this experience to the community to solve the problems. We have a lot of problems in Egypt, so academia should contribute to this. Enriching cultural exchange by providing an experience of coexisting between different groups and backgrounds. In Egypt, we have different classes and different cultures and different people are living in the same, like Cairo and very rich areas and very poor areas, and all of them are in a place to learn. So they visit the rural areas and they realize that they don't know Egypt well. They need more to go because they are in a bubble. They are away from the reality. And some of them, they get shocked when they see how a lot of people are under the poverty line now in Egypt, and I have to contribute and I have to take a decision. And my air conditioning classroom is not the solution. I need to be there with these poor people. To start a community-based learning process, we need to have steps. The first one is to have a needs assessment for the area that you are going to work. Then you identify the courses that the students are studying, and these courses could support the community to overcome these challenges. Then we have to find a partner in the community because we cannot work alone. We have to have this participatory model of development. Then the implementation in and with the community, and finally the reflection. And we are aware that all the initiatives and the project should be in a within a sustainability plan, how to assure that this initiative will last, not finished after the students are leaving. These are some of the courses that was identified by our students this year from the different faculties. We have the public health, pharmacology, orthopedic, groundwater, you can see from different faculties: groundwater management, renewable energy applications, mechatronics, introduction to sustainable development, soil management, composting, social entrepreneurship. I give you an example of what the students did in the community-based learning initiatives while the pandemic. And these are a list of activities they did. They did on-site public health campaigns in the villages in the middle of the pandemic, and this has a lot of effect on the health of the people there positively. Also, they did a social media campaign to promote integrative health practices and how to enhance your immune system to be more resilient to the virus. Also, door-to-door visits for marginalized families who cannot commute and move from the desert and from the marginalized areas. Also, online courses for schools for kids in public schools during the lockdown. And finally, implementing health on wheels to support patients commuting to the hospital, as in desert areas, it's really difficult to commute. So all this was done by our students. And I will take you to some of these examples by pictures. This is where we work in Egypt. We have 3 different governorates we are working. We are here in Cairo, in this area. So we work in this part in Sharqiya Governorate, then a little bit in the south, Armenia, then on the little bit west in Bahariya, in the middle of the desert. All these 3 places had a baseline study to identify the problems and the challenges that we are going to address and support. And the focus was mostly on the rural areas, as the majority of the population in these areas are extremely poor and need a lot of support. These are some of the pictures where our students are engaging in the community. You can see in the desert, in the public places, you can see faculty of physical therapy, faculty of engineering, establishing solar pumping, awareness campaigns, and also pharmaceutical awareness campaigns in the villages. And we had a lot of questions rather than answers when the students come back from these campaigns and this process. It takes 1 week. They stay in the guest house and they move to the villages on a daily basis for 5-6 days, so they get to the people and know exactly what they are going to do. And I will share with you now some of the ongoing initiatives that develop through the CPL or community-based learning activities in the villages. And this is running project now, and it's a very successful, and it support the economic empowerment and the social cohesion of the villages. The first one is an initiative called Women Empowerment in Egyptian Rural Areas, and this is done through integrative health approach. We have in this project 3,000 ladies registered, and they are receiving on a daily basis consultation and support from our rural guides who was trained in the faculty physical therapy and pharmacy. And these are some of the training workshops where the rural guides receiving a lot of capacity development to support. Of course, we do that in cooperation with the Ministry of Health in Egypt. And this is ongoing project financed by Heliopolis University. The second, and this one that I love the most, is Arts for Climate Initiative in Public Schools. You know, in 2022, we had the COP, the Conference of Party for Climate Change in Sharm el-Sheikh. And I presented this initiative in this COP, and it received a lot of support. So we started now with 5 schools in the rural areas to promote climate change awareness, not through lectures, not through boring sessions, but through arts. So we had a curriculum, how to promote climate change knowledge and actions through artistic activities with the kids in the rural areas. Of course, this is done in cooperation with Heliopolis University students, staff, and Sikkim School as well. One of the interesting and most successful project also we are working, it's an initiative called Waste for Food in villages, where people learn how to sort garbage from source, and they can exchange these garbage by vegetables, but not vegetables, it's organic vegetables. So if you do sorting from source at your house, you can exchange paper or plastic or any kind of these sorted waste by vegetables coming from Sikkim farms. And we have 3 shops in the villages, and it's running and managed by the students in collaboration with the community partners. Composting prototype, one of the goals I shared in the beginning was a course called Composting in the Organic Agriculture. And this is a prototype of composting. Composting is, or compost is, the organic fertilizers coming out of animal manures and plants wastes in the field. So we transform both into organic fertilizers, which is very, very rich for the soil, particularly in the desert area where we are working. So the students from Faculty of Organic Agriculture established 2 composting prototyping places in the villages, and they supervising the entire process. So they help the farmers to come up with a final organic composting or organic fertilizers to their soil to enrich the soil and enhance the vitality of the soil. Another interesting project, we applied with 5 widows in the villages to let them have an ice cream machine, but with a fresh organic milk from Sikkim. So we selected 5 widows from the villages. Of course, we have a huge problem in the highways in Egypt where a lot of accidents are happening and a lot of people are dying because of the traffics and not following the rules of the highways driving. So these 5 ladies, they lost their husbands in motorcycle accidents. A horrible situation is happening. They don't have any financial support. So our students selected them and they decided to support them financially to get an ice cream machine, and they provide them with the ingredients, but not a powder milk, it's fresh milk. And it's very, very good quality. And the ice cream machine enhanced the economic situation, and then now they have a shop. And the economic empowerment of these women is really on track. And I love this project, and I always go and visit these ladies to see how things are moving. This is one of the examples. And all these projects are run and managed and coordinated by the students, of course, with support of the Rural Development Center.
Mr. Anwar, you have 1 more minute, so we still have some time for a question.
Yes, I finished. Yeah, this is the last one. These are some quotes from the students who already went to the villages, and they did a lot of support to the people in this area. One of them said, "I used to hear through thoughts when I was young about change. For me, this speech is so sweet that I heard these words from the doctors. Indeed, the change of Egypt stands for our change." It means the change of young people. These are some challenges I will pass by. Finally, these are our outcomes of 2,500 students engaged for 8 years in this community-based learning endeavors. I will keep it on the screen so we can discuss with you. Thank you very much.